What is it with today's WWE fanboys and their sudden love for big, boring wrestlers? You know, like these big, tall, generic wrestlers with no personalities. The ones that stand in the ring and just stand there and growl, you know? You know what I'm talking about. Guys like the Warlord, Kurrgan the Interrogator, the Great Khali, Braun Strowman. We had a million of them. And growing up as a kid, nobody cheered for these guys because they're boring. They have no charisma. They have no charm, you know? They just stand there and growl like, Brock Lesnar fears me. You know, like, we didn't cheer for these guys growing up. No, we cheered for guys like Stone Cold, The Rock, DX, the NWO, Ric Flair, Randy Savage, you know, guys who had charm, who had charisma, who had a reason for us to cheer for them. But now, for no apparent reason, you have these fanboys cheering for guys like Braun Strowman and Big Cass. We went from The Rock and Stone Cold to Braun Strowman and Big Cass. Like, I'll be reading comments online, and there'll be comments like, Big Cass is the future of wrestling. Quick to see Khali back in action. I can't wait for Braun Strowman to become world champion. And I'll be reading these comments, and I'll be like, what the hell is going on? You know, like, why the hell would you want Braun Strowman as the world champion? He's a big generic monster heel that just growls at the screen with no personality. Like, why the hell would you want him to be world champion? For what? So that he can stand there with the belt and growl? Told you, Brock Lesnar fears me. You know, like, that's what you want? That's what you consider an exciting world champion? That's what you're looking for? Remember charisma? Like, do you even remember what charisma looks like? Guys like Savage, Flair, Austin, Hogan, Rock, you know, like, even John Cena, because even though I personally don't like John Cena's character, I can still see why other fans like him, because he has that look, he has that C-Nation persona, and he looks like a G.I. Joe come to life, so I can see why many young fans like him. But never before have I ever seen fans get behind the big, boring, generic monster heels. The guys that just stand there like, I have never seen them get behind them before, because there's no reason to get behind them. Like, what am I supposed to do? Be like, wow, I love the way Kurrgan just stands there and growls. Wow, look at the way he walks stiffly and does two moves. Wow, you know, there's no reason. So that's why when Braun Strowman comes out and you see some fans cheering like, yes, it confuses the hell out of me. Like, what the hell are they cheering for? You know, wouldn't they rather have someone with charm? You know, someone like The Rock? The WWE has been taking these vanilla indie jobbers, dressing them up in ridiculous costumes, and then they start acting like we care about these wrestlers even though we don't. In my opinion, nobody actually cares about Rick Swann. Yet he keeps dancing out like he's a special attraction even though he's not. But the WWE, they want to act like we care and we like it. Like when Rick Swann points at Sasha Banks and Sasha Banks does that stupid little dance. The WWE wants to act like we like it. You know, like they're out of their minds. Like I said before, these vanilla indie jobbers are not as popular as their crowd reactions. Raw ratings are at 1.9, and the Cruiserweight division's viewership is apparently a disaster. So who cares if the fanboys still cheer loudly for them? Forget what the fanboys think. How do these wrestlers look to regular people, to everyday people, alright? Finn Balor is a skinny little guy with a big head who comes out wearing a little jacket and goes, dun, woo! And then the crowd does it with him. And then he does it again, dun, woo! You know, like, how do you think that looks to regular people, right? In my opinion, it doesn't look appealing. It looks weird. It looks very, very weird, right? How do you think Dean Ambrose looks to regular people? You know, look this pudgy-faced guy with a comb-over, acting like a 7th grader trying to be cool. Like, hey, man, yeah, I'm Dean Ambrose, man. Yeah, I'm talking like this, man. So I'm cool, man. Like, how do you think that looks to regular people? In my opinion, it looks stupid. And what about the epitome of foolishness? Ty Dillinger. How do you think that guy looks to everyday people? here's this tiny little vanilla indie jobber who comes out wearing these giant collars like Dracula, has a big glowing 10 on his back, and his whole gimmick is that he says 10 non-stop. 10, 10, 10, at every opportunity. 10, 10, 10, after every move. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. It's like, what the hell, man? Stop saying 10, you dumbass! You know, like, he's like a Pokemon or something. You know, it's like, hey, man, check out my annoying Pokemon. His name's 10. 10, 10, 10, 10. And the other guy's like, the hell, man? Pikachu, destroy that annoying Pokemon! Alexa Bliss is one of the few shining stars in the WWE right now. But if she's gonna get that Shawn Michaels push, then in my opinion, she needs two things. Number one, she needs a bodyguard like Diesel. And number two, she needs her own talk show, like the Heartbreak Hotel. When Shawn Michaels was Intercontinental Champion, he had his own talk show called the Heartbreak Hotel, where he would be laying on a heart-shaped bed, wearing his Intercontinental title belt, his bodyguard by his side, and he's just laying there not giving a shit about anything. He was an arrogant heel champion in his own little world. Alexa Bliss should have her own talk show called Alexa's World, where, like Shawn Michaels, she's just laying there with her belt, protected by her bodyguard, and not giving a crap about anything. You know, just chilling, you know, because the Alexa Bliss character is a brat. She's not going to be back there mingling with the other female wrestlers. She's going to be off on her own, in her own little world, just like Shawn Michaels was. Alexa's World. Alexa Bliss is one of the few highlights in the WWE right now. Most of the rest of the roster is a disaster. I mean, look at Bayley. Like, she looks like a peanut. Like I said before, here's a grown woman whose whole gimmick is that she acts like she's 10 years old. I mean, is that what Ty Dillinger is referring to? Bayley thinks she's 10, 10, 10. I mean, come on. You take one look at Bayley and you can tell that some fans are eventually going to start booing. I mean, just look at Bayley's entrance. It starts with a smiley face hugging itself. And then Bayley comes out and does that little dance. Then she goes to one side of the stage. Woo! Then the other side. Woo! You know, like, how well did the WWE think this was going to do in the main roster? And then the character acts like this fragile little girl who has problems with Extreme Rules matches because she doesn't want to hurt anyone. I mean, hello? This is professional wrestling. Did you do your research before making your career choice? I mean, this is the same promotion where The Rock beat Mankind with a chair a million times, and here's this girl talking about how she has problems with Extreme Rules matches because she doesn't want to hurt anyone. I mean, she sounds like a total dumbass. The Bayley character is probably the most fragile wrestling character I've ever seen. Alexa Bliss hits her with a kendo stick one time, and she acts completely destroyed, like she just got hit by a train. Look, Mankind got hit by a chair a million times, and he was still getting up. Bayley gets hit with a kendo stick one time, and she's like knocked out. You know what I mean? Just how fragile is this wrestling character? I mean, hypothetically, if Bayley was sitting in a car in a parking lot looking at her phone and a rolling shopping cart hits the outside of the car, would she be like, oh, 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 emergency? You know, like, or what if some random guy was playing the video game Duck Hunt with his Nintendo Zapper and Bayley accidentally walks in front of the TV? Would she be like, oh, oh, how could you? How could you? How could you? And the guy's like, this is a video game light gun. It does not actually shoot anything. And she's like, oh, tell it to me and those ducks. And the guy's like, how the hell did you make it to the main roster? I thought I'd share some pictures of Battleground. First of all, as you know by now, Jinder Mahal's two henchmen were hiding under the ring during the main event. Here's a picture of under the ring, where there's apparently a television monitor under there, apparently showing what's happening. Like I talked about in my last video, Charlotte doesn't seem to sell when she's outside the ring and off camera. At Battleground it seemed like it was no different. It looked like she was just laying there waiting for her cue to get back in the ring. And finally, anyone who says that Battleground was jam-packed is full of crap. There were scattered, empty seats. She's gonna be the very best that no one ever was. Dun, dun, dun. SmackDown champ was her first test, but that wasn't enough. So she traveled across the brands, beating girls thin and wide. Dun, dun, dun. Smash a peanut, become Raw champ. Now history's on her side. Alexa, we have a star finally. Enough of these jabronis, Alexa. Yeah, she's kinda short, but that's what high heels are for. Alexa, oh, this PG era's so blue, but she's gonna pull us through. Just make sure no pics leak of you. Alexa, your eyelashes are huge.